Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Sabrina here. So, today I'm gonna do a video on how to know your date is cheap. So, this is almost like an incorporated story time and a how to know if your date's cheap. But I'm going to list a couple things I've been through and yeah, incorporate them with a story time along with other things that other people have told me. So yeah, honestly, there's nothing wrong with being cheap. It's fine. But I feel like at the end of the day, if you're gonna go and you're gonna date, you should be prepared to spend money. Now, as a man, you're the one that's seeking the date most of the time, and us women are accepting. So, I mean, I do feel like, at least on the first date, whoever is the person asking out the other individual, whether that be the male or in this day and age, females will ask somebody out, you should be at least, accommodating this person on a good time and showing them a good time, because obviously the aim of dates is to get a second date. So anyways, these are some of the things that I've been through, and yeah, stories I've heard about people who are cheap. So one of the things I've noticed, to tell if a person is cheap is how they will tip. Now, again, that is debatable. It's really up to what you want to do, and it also depends on the server as well. If the server is nice, they're not fake, they're being genuine, then generally you should try to tip the percentage that it is required. Generally it's 15%. Sometimes the bill doesn't require you to tip 15% because it's quite low. If something's like $10, maybe giving them $4 is enough, type of thing. Or $2-3 is enough. Now, once your bill starts to get up into $100, you can't play games because people are gonna notice, and I feel like you are gonna get judged. So I went on this date. It was kind of funny, but then I realized maybe you're being kind of cheap. And our bill was like a good amount of money. And usually how I work is like, if a guy pays, like I always offer to pay the tip, because he's going to pay for the food, so I'll say ahead of time, is it okay if I pay for the tip? Therefore you won't have to feel pressure to find the 15% or whatever. This particular person was like, no, it's okay. So I'm thinking like, you're gonna tip, and literally they did not tip this person. So I didn't really see the bill, and it literally became when the waiter was giving us like a stink face, and I was just like, did you not tip? We went outside and he's like, no, I'm not doing. I was like, why wouldn't you? I was like, I told you I was gonna do that. It's like, and it's so awkward because I was like, I don't want to talk to you about money. I don't know you like that. I don't want to talk about money. So yeah, number one, tipping. Like, it's really important. If you're gonna go on dates and you can't tip, don't be going on dates. And if a woman offers to pay for the tip, it doesn't mean she's making you out to be less of a man. That just means she wants to help, and she doesn't want y'all to get things thrown in your food, the waiter to spit in your food, step in your food, and that's it. Another reason how I know, another thing to tell is where they take you. So like, someone who always wants to go out for coffee, like it's the second date and you're always going to like a coffee shop, a donut shop, a little like cafe. It's like, yeah, okay, I know you're spending $10 and that's fine, but it's like, why are you only spending $10? Are you only spending $10 because you don't really like me that much, or are you just cheap? Chances are you're probably just cheap. And I found that happen before, and I'm just like, why do you coming here? I was like, let's go somewhere else. Like, I don't eat a lot, but at the same time, we should be going to like nice places. People spend on me before, don't get me wrong, but like, so when I see people kind of do the opposite, I'm just like, this is cheap. You're just being cheap. It's not me, it's you. You're being cheap. So yeah, people who just avoid restaurants altogether, stick to fast food restaurants, or they're just like going somewhere that's like 5 and below, like 10 and below, cheap. If the person always wants to split a bill with you, or just make you pay for your own bill, or when the waiter comes and he's like, how do you want the check, and like you're awkwardly nervously waiting for them and they're awkwardly nervously waiting for you, and they're basically forcing you to say separate check. So yeah, that's another sign that this person's cheap. And yeah, if they go on multiple dates and they do that, chances are it's going to be a habit that they're going to keep. Like, again, it's up to you if you want to date this person, if you get to know them, and then you can ask them, like, are you saving for something? Is there something that you're doing? Why this happens every time? Then, you know, you can go on other dates. But personally, for me, like, if you don't really explain, like, okay, you know, I'm being frugal for these reasons, I'm saving, and you're just like blatantly being cheap, then I mean, that's kind of annoying. Someone who, you know, is always, you ask them about like the future, like you're asking them questions and they don't really like talk about spending money, or you talk about oh, you know, like, do you want to buy a house in the future, like, you know, like to find out their goals, and they're just kind of like, well, yeah, like I just, you know, maybe, but I'm gonna buy a home. Or they just like, everything about it is, I'm gonna split it, I'm gonna buy it. Like, it's, no one's saying you gotta take care of a woman, no one's saying that. Like, we live in a society where things are different, but it's just like, everything's about, it's mine, I'm gonna own this, I'm gonna own that, and if I'm gonna own it, I'm gonna have to split it. And they have no intentions of like trying to like either be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Everything's all about just splitting with someone. They always want to make sure they're not paying a bill by themselves, or they're not fitting a cost by themselves. Like, but yeah, another thing to know if someone's cheap is, I'm always weary of people who find a lot of problems with their food at a restaurant. Meaning, like, you're on a date and like you order steak and this person's like, oh, the steak's too rare. And then they fix it. Oh, it needs to be medium rare. Oh, okay, they fix it. Oh, can you make it medium well? And it's just like, they want every single issue to be with this steak so they can continue to take it back. And when the steak is like bun up and like dry up, then they're like, can I speak to your supervisor, please? And I'm just there like, eating my food, like happy with my pasta, happy with my whatever I got. And I'm always just like, is it me? Like, why do you have so much problems with your food? And then before I know it, the manager's coming over giving him a complimentary meal, and I'm over here having to like pay for my meal. So I'm just like, okay, I kind of feel bad now. Like, we went to dinner and then you didn't eat. Like, did you want to go somewhere else? Oh no, I'm okay. And it's like, now I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna offer to pay for my own stuff, because it's like, you didn't eat, so I kind of feel weird. So that's annoying. If that happens to you and you find this person's like overly picky, chances are they're cheap, and they get off of like this behavior because they know that when they go to restaurants, if you are upset and you feel disgruntled, most waiters are either gonna, or managers are gonna come over and they're gonna give you free food, they're gonna give you complimentary drinks, this and that. Like, I don't know, I'm too stush for that. I rarely ask for my food to be returned. There has to be something really, really wrong for me to do that, because I don't really trust people taking my stuff back, because you know they're literally going to like spit in it or drop it on the floor or do some dumbness. It's just like, no, I'm just gonna make sure I order what I want, and yeah, I'm not gonna cheap out by getting free stuff. Like, it's fun, all fun and games when you do, but do you really know what this person did to your food, or when you return it 6 or 7 times? Or if the end goal is not to eat it, then cool. Then you get a complimentary what? Okay, you filled your belly with like half of food you ate, and then you got a free meal. Okay, cool. Whatever. Another thing that I hate is people who like pretend like they're nature people. Like, oh, like I like to take walks, I like to park, I like to ride my bike. No, you don't. You just don't want to pay for nothing. Like, stop. Like, there are people that like to exercise, but you don't gotta do that all the time. Like, there's no way. Like, I don't care what anybody says. you're not, you're not that much of like a green, earthy person, like environmentally friendly, where you don't want to like drive, you don't want to like, no, it's because you don't want to pay for nothing. The park is free, the benches are free, you don't want to pay for nothing. So chances are, like, if someone's on a date and every second they want to go on walks, like, I feel like most guys do it because girls think it's cute sometimes, and by the time the girl realizes that she just got finessed into not getting anything, it was just a free walk, then she's like, we didn't do anything. Then it's too late. Another thing that like someone told me was that people tend to like go on dates and make other women pay for their dates. So like men do that because men are just like, I don't want to spend money, I don't want to like waste money. So they tend to like make the women pay for these dates or they don't go. And I guess like these girls are like out here doing it. Like, I'm sorry, like, I'll pay for something, but we're gonna go Dutch for the first date. Like, I'm not paying for nothing for you. I'm sorry, like, it's no. I'll pay Dutch, but I'm not paying for you. Like, no. When we're in a relationship and we start to like get there and we're splitting things like that, then we can do that. Aside from that, I don't like you that much to be being the first one to pay for nothing for you. I could hold my own, I could handle my own, but a lady is what I'm gonna be, and you're gonna pay for my first date. So if you don't want to go on a first date with me, then I guess you're just not gonna go, because I'm not gonna pay for it for you. So anyways, guys, those are a couple of things that I literally have come across in terms of cheap people. And I don't really know why exactly men do that. It's probably because you go on so many dates, so you have to conserve the amount of money you spend. But at the same time, I feel like if you really, really like someone, you should put the effort in. And if you're not really willing to make the date a good experience, then I would say don't go, because you could really figure out whether you really, really like a person by having a few conversations with them. So instead of just running to take the person out, have a few conversations with them. Have a couple FaceTime first, so you see if you really like this person. So when you do actually take them on a real date, it's going to be like a real, meaningful date that will lead to a second date and will probably lead to a relationship if that's what you want. But like, to be dating all these women and just like cheaping it out, half-assing it just for the sake of going, it's like, to me, it's a waste of time. So it's like, I mean, I'm not going to do it. So but yeah, guys, that's everything I have. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what your cheap date was and what happened to you if you experienced a cheap date or know someone who've had dates that are cheap. And like I said, it's men and some women too, but mostly the onus right now is on men because they're the ones who are usually asking women out. So generally, you should be the one that should be impressing on the first date. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.